Welcome to the WangHiro podcast, where we answer Malaysians' burning questions about personal finance with fact-based answers. Welcome back to the WangHiro podcast. In our last episode of Financial Audit, Salene, an account executive in her mid-20s, learned about the different types of asset classes, which is the riskiest and which makes the most money. If you want to recap on our previous episode, I've included the link in the description below. In today's episode, we're helping Salene take her very first steps into the investing world, how to open a brokerage account. If you're like Salene and have always wanted to learn how to buy your own stocks, then keep watching. So Salene, in our last episode, you were quite excited about taking your first step in investing. How are you feeling today?
Wow, excited and
Still
scared.
excited and scared.
I think it's very normal, Salene, to feel that euphoria. I think if everyone was successful in investing just purely based on knowing numbers, I think that's a fallacy. That means all your math teachers, all your accounting teachers, all will be multi-millionaires. But investing is really about emotional game, so it's normal, So it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, John, maybe we start off by talking about what is a brokerage account, okay? For people like you and actually me, I'm not very familiar as well, okay? So people who are very well faced in investing, they already know how to use one. It's probably something that you take for granted every day. But I think for people like Salene, myself, and some of our audience members who have never invested before, they may not know what is the purpose of a brokerage account. So maybe you can explain a little bit about what a brokerage account is for and what are its main features.
Yeah. Before I even go to the brokerage accounts, Louis and Salene, here's what's interesting. I learn about investing first, then only learn about the brokerage account later, which is actually the wrong step. And I'll tell you why. Because most of the time, when you get into investing, what are the resources that you have? It's actually books, books about investing, how to read accounts, whatever, right? Nobody actually teaches you the rules of the game. So, and we got it in reverse. That means we got to understand what are the things to look for in a company before we even know. Like things like contra, things like cash upfront, direct account. All this I didn't know one, Go inside market only then, oh, okay. So the reason why I'm sharing this upfront is because sometimes some people in the market, they know about all these rules first before going into company. Whereas my approach, my path into it was knowing the companies first, then only knowing about all this. And I realized that, oh my God, no one taught me about this, So that's the reason why I said let's go back to basics, which is like know the rules of the game. Okay. So in any country in the world, for you to be able to trade the market, right? There must be this thing called an exchange, a stock exchange. So in certain countries like Malaysia, there's only one, which is we know as Bursa Malaysia. But if you go to Vietnam, there's two exchanges.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's one Hanoi and one in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon, which is the capital. Okay, certain countries like US also has a few. So you heard of NASDAQ, and we also heard of the New York Stock Exchange. So differing countries, some may have a few, some may have one. So in Malaysia, there's only one and only one. So it's kind of like monopoly. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the problem is, as an exchange, they need partners, or what they call intermediaries, to help manage the market, to help allow trade. And this is where the brokers come in. So if you think of the word broker, it's like it comes from the English word of brokering a service, brokering a trade. So that's why all these brokers are what we call participatory organization in Bursa Malaysia. So if you have like CIMB, Hong Leong, you name it, like Rakuten, Kenaga, Affin-Hwang, all M Securities, all these are actually intermediaries, brokers that are participating organizations of Bursa Malaysia that help facilitate trade in the market. So they're not Bursa Malaysia, which is the exchange, but they're intermediaries between us as a client or some institutional client like EPF, like Co-op. They're also clients. They also need to go through a broker. You get what I mean? Even banks, let's say a unit trust or a fund management or asset management company, for them to buy and sell shares, they also have to go through a broker. So in some sense, we are level with them. Obviously, their trades are bigger. They may get special rates, they may get special treatment, but everybody still has to go through a broker also. Any country around the world, same. So like if you go to US, you definitely have to go through a JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley or Charles Schwab or Robinhood. These are all brokers. So Salene, maybe you heard of Robinhood, Salene?
No,
Never. Based on what I described, what are the names of brokers you've heard of so far?
I
In
only
your
know Malaysia one,
Malaysia, yeah. So what are the names of the brokers that you've heard of?
like the Rakuten,
Rakuten. Why?
Tenaga.
Advertisement, is it?
Yeah.
So Rakuten did a good job in getting to you. Where do you see it? Your Facebook feed, is it? Or TikTok or what?
Facebook, a lot mostly is from Facebook. I
Ah.
think they are tracing our call right now.
The AI is and the machine learning is crawling through the web and okay. So clear on that explanation, actually, Salene and Louis. Okay, so perhaps the purpose of a brokerage account is actually for you to buy and sell shares. It's as simple as that. And the features of a brokerage account, I'm going to take you step by step through a brokerage account, what's in a brokerage account. But first and foremost, what do you think you should be looking for a brokerage account? Anyone?
Lower management fee or those like trading fees.
Okay. Louis, you have a brokerage account, right, Louis?
Yes, I have a few actually. I have the Maybank. I have I also have the interactive brokers one that sells Rakuten. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, for me, I think definitely the fees, that's one. But other than that, I guess the what do you call that? The exchanges that are available. Yeah. So hope that the brokerage accounts I can trade both domestic and international. Most of the time look at that, and then the fees for both. And then the ease of use. Yeah. How easy is it to use these? Maybe after that, the reputation, because some are quite shady, I feel. Like they have high frequency traders like doing things inside, right? So those, if I try to avoid those that have that kind of reputation. Yeah.
Especially those that appear on your YouTube feed, right?
Yeah. yes, correct. So those would be the things that I consider.
Okay, good. So I just repeat what you guys said, which are very important things, which is good. First and foremost, fees, because every time you buy and sell, the brokers actually make money from a transaction. They charge you a transaction fee. Second thing Louis mentioned is exchange. So like, remember my earlier explanation that if there are certain countries in the world that has only one exchange and you can buy and sell only in Malaysia, and the broking account only allows you to buy and sell only in Malaysia, that means you're only on one exchange effectively. So certain brokers, global brokers like interactive brokers, okay, I have an interactive broker account too. They allow you to trade anywhere around the world. Most of the exchanges are not anywhere, sorry. Most of the exchanges around the world. So what does this mean, Salene? It means you have one account, but you can buy US shares, you can buy China shares, you can buy Hong Kong shares. Most of the brokers in town, they usually focus on Malaysia only first. And then they start saying that, hey, if you want to do international, we have, but then we'll go through this exercise and we'll show you what's the difference in between opening an international broker versus that of opening a Malaysian broker. Because the Malaysian government definitely want to protect the local brokers.
Yes.
That's why they have a lot of these restrictions that do not allow foreign brokers to come in that easily. Okay? Yeah. So now I want you to, I gave you a link earlier, Salene, about the brokers comparison. Do you mind sharing your screen on that one?
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, take your time.
Can I see?
Yes, perfect. So this is actually quite a good table compilation on i3 Investor, one of a very famous local Malaysian website. So let me just explain to you. Okay, forget about the stars first. Okay, I know the stars may give a bit of a bias, like BNB security straight away 2.5 star. Okay, chuck aside. Yeah, but let's go through this. Remember earlier you mentioned about fees, right? So these are actually the fees. And what does it mean? So it says cash upfront account. Now, anyone wants to take a guess what does cash upfront? And if you go and look at M equities, do you realize that it says cash upfront and then collateralize?
Mm.
What do you think cash upfront means and what do you think collateralize means?
Is cash upfront is like when you want to invest in something, you come up with that money.
Precisely. That means you cannot trade more than what you have in your account. You cannot buy. Whereas a collateralized account, the M equities will give you a margin, and you can actually buy stocks on borrowed money. Am I making
Borrowed
sense?
money.
Yeah, collateralized. So that means what you do is you buy, let's say, 10,000 shares on Maybank,
Mm-hmm.
but then you want to buy another 5,000 more. So you actually take Maybank shares, the one that you've already bought. Okay, you don't have any more money, but you pledge those shares over to M and say, hey, I've got, let's say Maybank is $10, right? $10, 10,000 shares, 100,000. So I said, hey, I've got 100,000 worth of Maybank shares. Can I give this to you? You take you take it as a collateral, and then you borrow me 50,000 to buy 5,000 more shares of Maybank. So you're actually using your shares to become like, in Chinese we say 抵押 lah. You pledge, what do you call it? What's the lack of a better? Yeah, the word is collateralize. So it's like you take your existing car, let's say fully paid, right? The loan, right?
Yeah.
But you want to refinance your car. So you take your car to the refinancer and says, hey, my car is worth this. I'm maybe 80,000. I want to borrow 50,000 from you, and I have 50,000. I want to go and buy another car.
Like
so the concept is
security,
roughly the same. Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Okay. So as a newbie, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you not to open a collateralized account. Just do a cash upfront. That means whatever you invest is just money you have, and then if you lose, that's the maximum amount of money you will lose also. Yeah, because if Maybank goes down from 10 ringgit down to 5 ringgit, right? What happens is you borrow 50,000 from them, right? Now the value of the shares from 100,000 has dropped to 50. So that means they have the right to call back your money. And if you don't have the money, that means you have to sell and you have to top up the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened to a lot of people in the US when the game stopped and all that kind of, because they borrowed money to go and buy more. So just be very, very careful. Okay. Now, that's the fee. So what it means is if you trade, the value that you trade is less than 10,000 ringgit, the fee is only 5 ringgit. If you trade anywhere between 10,000 to 100,000 for Affin-Hwang, it's 0.08. More than 100,000 is 0.05. And then there's a minimum charge of 5 ringgit. So that means every time you trade, it's a 5 ringgit fee. Okay. The limit is this cash balance transaction cost. Payment method means how can you finance the account? That means now in Malaysia, we can use this thing called FPX. You can transfer funds very easily. And these are the special features. And if you go to the rightmost column, special offers and features, you see there fully online direct CDS account opening process.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Free premium stock screener powered by Morningstar. I feel this is a lot of value. I'll tell you why later. Okay, and then last but not least, you have fast account approval process within 1 business day. Yeah. Any questions so far?
No.
No, So if you scroll down the list, Salene, so you see different people, they got different rating, cash upfront, and then they'll tell you the trade. Now, you look at Affin, I shouldn't have started Affin because the fees are very, very good. But you go down, okay, you go down to, let's just say, let me see who's the most expensive. Okay, you look at CIMB.
Yeah, and me. Okay.
Yeah. Can you see what does it say for the brokerage fee?
4
0.42, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Now remember how much was Affin charging you?
5 ringgit.
5
minimum.
ringgit. So let's just say we use 10,000 as an example. 10,000 ringgit times 0.42. How much are you going to get?
That's a lot.
This is 420 ringgit, if I'm not mistaken. If 4%, okay, 5% of 10,000 is
4,200.
no.
Oh,
This is
0.2.
0.42. 1% is 100 ringgit, 0.42, 42 ringgit, sorry.
42?
Yeah, 42. So 42 versus 5 ringgit. Got difference or not?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot, right? Yeah. So obviously they said there's a minimum of 28, but even then 28 versus 5 ringgit. So this actually is a very, very important parameter or criteria you should be looking at. Now let's go down. Louis says she has a Maybank, right? So let's see how much does Maybank charge. Cash 0.1, minimum 8 ringgit. Okay, not so bad. 8 to 5, okay lah, 3 ringgit difference.
Domestic,
But-
I think. This is
Yeah,
for
this
domestic.
domestic. Yeah,
Okay.
but if it's foreign, definitely more expensive.
Yeah,
lah.
very expensive. 25, I think, the minimum.
No, that's US dollars some more, Louis.
Is it? Oh, I forgot.
Mhm.
I haven't used it in a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you buy
So
foreign stocks,
expensive.
it's usually charged in US dollars, the brokerage fee. That's why Interactive Broker is a godsend because it's $1. It's only $1. Like Salene, if you have a local brokerage and in the past you want to buy foreign stocks per trade, every time you buy and sell is 25 US dollars. That's about 100 ringgit.
Wow.
And so a lot of Malaysians could not, unless you're very rich, cannot afford or don't want to go into foreign markets because of this. It's a deterrent. And obviously, who is the happiest? These guys, 25 US dollars, per trade, 28 sometimes.
Wow, that's very high.
But it's also very costly for them to set up the facility, and then because you have a difference if you let's say you want to participate in Nasdaq or the New York Stock Exchange, right? The brokers here have to pay a connection fee, all this a lot of fees one actually. So obviously cost is high, and then even if you pay 28 US dollars, you actually don't get a live price feed.
You
So
get
what
the
does it mean?
past price.
It's 15 minutes delay.
Oh.
So whenever you look at the price that you see in your Malaysian broker screen, it's actually 15 minutes delay. Even though I'm pretty sure some of your friends do trading US markets. They wake up in the middle of the night and start trading, right? So hopefully they trade with live prices, because if they trade 15-minute delay, if some war happened 15 minutes ago, then the price will change already. No, seriously. I mean, I'm putting extreme cases, but that is the disadvantage of delayed prices when you buy from here. Okay. Any questions based on what you see?
Yeah, I saw this good till date.
Good till date. Very good. Okay. So what does it mean? If you want to buy stock, you can actually buy in many ways. So you can actually buy immediately. You can actually buy immediately. That means market open 9 to 5. Okay. You see a price, let's say it's $8. You can buy it on the spot. Within milliseconds, you'll get it. But let's just say the price that you want is not available at that point of time. Let's say Maybank is at 11 ringgit, but you think you want to buy it at 10 ringgit. Okay. So instead of you waiting in front of the screen until it goes to 10 ringgit, you can actually set this to say, for 30 days, if any time it hits 10 ringgit, please buy it for me.
Oh.
So that is what it means by good till date. So most brokers, they have things like 30 days. Like this one, Maybank is 30 days. I know Hong Leong also has 30 days, 2 weeks or 30 days. I don't know. They keep changing. Lah. In the US, you even have this thing called good till cancel. So good till cancel, it means this. You want to buy at, let's say Facebook. Facebook is like 243 or 250, right? But you only want to buy at $150, but you don't know when it's going to happen. Okay. So like Maybank, they only give you 30 days. Certain brokers in the US, they said that execute this every day until it hits 150. I don't care for how long.
Oh,
So you can put it for a year, 2 years, but most of the time they don't like to put too long. You know why? Because sometimes markets, the company actually goes through a stock split. So a stock split means today is 100 ringgit, they have 100 shares. But all of a sudden they say, I want to make 200 shares. The same cake. So from a $10 US stock, it becomes a $5 US stock. But you queue at $5. Of course, it hits straight away. But actually, technically, you want to buy 2 $5 stocks rather than one $5 stock. Am I making sense? Okay, I see blank faces. Rewind all that. Just think of good till date and good till cancel is you can set an instruction to the broker to say that, hey, help me watch the market. I only want to buy at this price or I want to sell at this price, and the order can be continuously executed for 30 days. That's what it means. The order stands for 30 days. It's like a standing instruction.
this one I get. I just don't get the stock split.
Oh, stock split. Okay. Once we come to
I think now you
When we-
just leave those for the next. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Because this one warrants
It will get very, very
a lot more
long.
detailed explanation like market cap, share count, all that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Focus on the brokerage one.
Yes, okay. So other than that, any other questions, Salene, Louis?
So far, I understand a
You
bit.
understand? Okay, okay,
Mm,
okay,
yeah.
good.
Okay.
Let's go through the
Very good,
process
very
of
good.
opening an account straight away. So since Affin,
I just want to
Affin-
add a note here, right? Because like I
Please.
had opened my first brokerage account like more than 15 years ago. I have never like understood what is it for, So this is super useful, John.
Exactly. Same, Louis. People tell you, for me, right, it's like, oh, you want to buy stocks? Open account? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
well, open account, but
sign, and then
oh no, what is it for? How
yeah,
does it work?
exactly. And then
Internal
once you,
workings, right?
yeah, inner workings, and then suddenly you see, okay lah, you open a terminal screen, and then you got prices moving up, moving down, and then red and green blinking, and then like, okay, it looks exciting. I learned this only after a few years, seriously,
Yeah,
Louis.
yeah, seriously. That's why I feel like, wow, suddenly I feel like I wish I was in your shoes, to have someone to patiently guide me, like John, like just to teach you step by step what is it for, because it will make everything so much simpler later, So
Correct.
instead of like you having to like guess what's this, at least you
What's
already
this?
know.
Yes. Even brokering alone, there's like, okay, I'll hold my horses. Okay. So
Okay, you go to it.
let's go to Affin-Hwang. The link I gave you earlier, Salene.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, disclaimer, Affin-Hwang is not paying me to say this. Yeah, Affin-Hwang, if you're listening, Dr. Tang, maybe you could get some sponsorship fees. I'm just kidding.
Hello at WangHiro.com.
WangHiro.com, yeah. Yeah, so but Dato Tang is okay, he doesn't like people calling him Dato Tang Chi Wai. Very nice guy. He started actually Affin-Hwang Asset Management. So this is the broking side, investment bank, different side. Okay. So now you see this is the I think it's called the I think eInvestGo, correct? So when you look at the website, is it clear? Is it simpler? It's simple for you to know where to start, Salene?
To open an account,
Yeah.
Here got one sign up.
Okay.
Here got open an account.
So it's quite user friendly, lah, huh? Okay. Let's go through the process. Let's click sign up now. Okay, so I'm going to go through the process like you also because I don't have an Affin. So you've got dealer assisted trading account and then eInvestGo. So the one on the right. I would say it's quite seamless. Do you have a trading account with Affin-Hwang Investment Bank? Do you, Salene?
No, I don't.
Okay, so click no. Okay, key in your username.
A few moments later, 2,000 years later.
Oh, trading hall, top right. So congratulations. Welcome to the world of stock investing. So today, too bad it's not an active day. It's a public holiday today. So you can see there, there's this thing called close because
Yeah.
the market is not open. But yeah, let's go for what you can do is, can you see that you say search code over there in the middle? There's a bar.
This one?
Yeah. You type there Maybank, since we're gonna cover Maybank. Enter. Can you find it? You click on Maybank. Ah, okay. So now I want you to double click Maybank. I've never
one?
used Affin before, yeah, but just double click it. Can you? There you go. Okay, you see at the bottom there. So this is how your broking screen looks like. So let's go through a few things. If you don't, let me see whether I can zoom in a little bit from here. Okay, so you see, this is what we call a trading screen or your trading hall. I know there's a lot of things there. I don't use most of it, to be honest. I don't use most of it. But what are the important things, okay? So you see there, quote on the top, the bar, you see home, trading hall, research, online platform, FAQ, right at the top there, my profile, okay?
Yeah.
So below that, there's this thing that says quote, watch list, stock info, chart, okay? So you click on quote. This is your quote screen already. You're actually on the quote screen, okay? What you want to do is, what you may want to do is that, let's just say you have a list of stocks you want to look out for. Okay, so you see that thing that says watch list. You go and click on that. Okay, so it says recent quote or create watch list. The only two things that you can see. So create watch list. So you type in, let's say, Salene watch list 1 or something, whatever name that you're comfortable with. Okay.
Oh, then.
Add to watch list. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Whatever stock next. You type symbol and yes. Enter. Yeah. Then add to watch list. So add. So you got to refresh. You see on the right hand side, there's like a circle. Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Cool, right? So you type in, let's say another 2 stocks, 3 stocks, whatever stocks that fancy you.
Whatever stock. I only
Whatever.
know these 2 stock.
Okay. Let me run through that one. Do you drink milk?
Yeah, farm
Farm
fresh.
fresh? Oh, FFB. No, FFB.
FFB.
Yeah. There you go.
Son.
Add to watch list. Okay. Maybe add another bank, public bank. PB Bank. Now you'll be wondering how come so confusing, right? How come different names or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So here comes the problem. It scares a lot of investors because it's like, I thought the name is the name. Yeah. The thing is, you see the symbols on the right hand side and the stock code. It's actually limited to 7 characters only.
Oh.
Yeah, all this, you forget about the dash after the but the first name like PB Bank or whatever, all stocks in Malaysia is limited to 7 names only as the stock symbol. And that's why they're given a code. The code also got meaning one, whether your main board, your ace board, and your lead board. So if you're lead board, there's 3 exchanges on the exchange. There's 3 boards in Malaysia. So the larger the company, then they're on the main board the big brothers Then the middle tier is what we call the ace board, and then the small brothers are called the lead board. So the numbers in front, 1, 2, 9, 5, and all that, there's also a meaning to that actually. So lead bot companies will start with 03. You can't see it because you're not a sophisticated investor. Sophisticated investor, no, it's not about whether you know or no. Sophisticated investor actually means that is your net worth more than 3 million. Only then they'll give you a sophisticated. You have to go and apply to be a sophisticated investor, because what they're trying to protect is that because your net worth is that much, you are able to take more risk. And that's why you can buy companies on the lead board. Yeah. You see, Louis and Salene, for this, it's like there's a lot of small nooks and crannies. Sometimes you don't know, you just knock here, knock there, and then you go and find out. Because no one is going to sit down and have a syllabus to teach you all this. There's no fixed syllabus, actually. Yeah. Okay, maybe one more. Yeah, Padini. I'm pretty sure you shop at Padini. There you go. So congratulations on your watch list. So now let's go through explaining why this watch list will help you. Okay. So let's just say now you've opened a brokerage account. You're gonna deposit money later. Once they approve and everything, you can deposit money. Okay. And you also want to be like looking at these counters. What will be a good price to enter? Now, obviously, buying based on price alone is not the way to invest, but this gives you an indication what is the movement of the market. Okay, so let's go to, since we're already on Padini, I want you to double click on Padini now. You can close this watch list for now. Okay, I'm going to explain to you how the basics actually work. So you look at the right left-hand corner, it says code 7052 and then symbol Padini. So whenever in the past, right, we don't have online or electronic trading. You know how if you ask maybe your parents' age or your uncles in that age, right, when they call the broker last time, because they buy the counter so often, right, they even remember the stock code. You tell them name, the symbol name, they don't know one, but they remember public bank as the number of the code, the 4-digit code. Because that's how they'll call. They'll call, hey, broker, buy counter 7052, 1,000 units at this price. And wow. Yeah. Because it's so...
they always repeat it.
Last time, there's no system like this, actually. We're very lucky now we can see all this. Okay. So, can you see the next column after that? Close, high, and low?
Yeah.
So, what it means, yesterday was a trading day. Today is a public holiday. So, it means that when the market closed at 5 p.m. yesterday, this was the closing price, $3.85. And in between that, which was yesterday, because today we don't have data, in between that day, the trading day yesterday, the highest price it went to was 386. The lowest price it went to was 383. Follow me so far?
Yeah.
So that means within one day yesterday, this was the price movement. Okay. Now, the next one is this thing called bid quantity, 486,500. Okay, so that means these were the quantity of shares that was being bidded yesterday, buy or sell. So one share, like say 500, right? So one share, one bid lah. Or based on lots. Sorry, this is based on lots, not based on shares. So one lot is 100 shares.
Wow, this one still
so it's
486,500
times 100 lah. Follow me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, in the past it used to be 1,000 per lot. That's why when if you speak to your parents or those who invest in stocks last time, they said, "Well, you sleep. I got 10 BG, right? Sleep means 10 times 1,000 lah."
Oh.
I got 10. They will tell you 10. They won't tell you exactly like I have 1,000 shares. They will tell you I got 10 lots. So 10 lots means 10 times 1,000. Now it's 10 times 100 lah, one lot. So next time if you speak to some of your relatives, you know the lingo already. Oh, zap liap, Hokkien lah. If it's Hokkien, right? I got 10 BG, 20 BG. That's what it means lah. Okay. So then the next one is this thing called bid and ask. Okay, so bid means people who want to buy, and then ask is people who want to sell. Obviously, when you sell, you want to sell at a higher price. When you buy, you want to buy at a lower price. That's why you bid. That's why that's the term. Okay. Then this ask quantity is how much is being sold. And then last, even though the close was 385, but the last transaction that happened was $3.83. The change from the close was negative 0.02 lah. 383 minus 385. I know it's a bit confusing, but this one, to be honest, as a beginner, once you get more and more familiar, you can go read up, whatever. But I'm just trying to explain what is on your screen so you know. Okay, now you come down, you see on the bottom left, you see this thing called market depth.
Yeah.
On the bottom left. Okay, so what does it mean? So you see, in the stock market, when the market opens, there's no one price only. Because there's many people wanting to bid, to buy, and many people wanting to sell. But they want to sell at different prices. They want to buy at different prices. So what it means is this thing called market depth lah. So if you see bid quantity 1, there's 486,500 people asking people to sell them at $3.83. That's what it means. That's the first depth. Then there's another 1,500 people, 1,500 bids, lots for $3.82 lah. And then there's another 1,000 for $3.80. So you can, when you put in a order, you have to enter what we call a queue. That means if you put in your order for $3.83, for example, right? Then you have to join the queue of the 486,000 that came before you. Have to queue on. It's not that you want to sell, you want to buy, you can buy, or you want to sell, you can sell. You have to join the queue. But you can beat the queue also. I'll teach you how to beat the queue. Okay, so
Put at a higher price.
This is the buyer. Okay. Now you go to the ask, which is the sell. Okay. So 386, there's a ask quantity of 4,800. 4.8, the yellow one, okay? So that means there is 4,800 asks for 386. Okay. Now, obviously, if you want to quickly dump your shares, okay, you want to skip the queue, right? Because people are asking higher. Of course, someone has to match it, right? You want to skip the queue, can. The guys are there's 486,000 selling for 383. People asking to buy at this price. If you desperately want to throw, we call it, you hit the buyer. So you actually, instead of queuing for 386 or 388 or 390, which is higher and higher, you queue lower lah. You straight away sell your shares for 383.
Oh.
You key in 383 to sell. All those guys that are in the queue, they will start makan already. So you can actually skip the queue, so to say.
Oh.
Okay. And then if you want to skip the queue for the buy, can. Instead of bidding for 383, what do? You hit the seller lah. The seller is asking for 386 mah.
Yeah.
So you straight away, instead of you queue, you want to buy at 383, you straight away go at 386 lah. Then you will hit the seller lah. Am I making sense, Salene? Louis?
Yeah.
Do you know about this before or not, Louis?
Yeah. This one my mom taught me. Yeah.
Okay. So virtually you can skip the queue or you can join the queue. That's why just now earlier you asked me the question, Salene, about good till date.
Yeah.
You don't want to buy at any of these prices. You want to buy at, let's just say, 360. It's not even there. Right? But you can key in. Okay, you see, you go to the right, you see this thing called order pad.
Order pad,
The one in green, okay. I don't know whether you can you see account number, can you like drop down and see whether you got anything? I don't think you can right now. You can't because your account's not activated, you've not deposited money, okay? So on the order pad, you see there's a trading limit. They will tell you how much limit you have. Account number you can drop down because you can have multiple accounts. You can have one direct and many unlimited nominee accounts, which we'll cover later. And then the stock is Padini. Action is to buy. So green is usually to buy. Sell is usually in red lah. I don't know Affin-Hwang. You try to see whether you can drop down the buy or not. Action there. Okay, you just sell. Correct, red. So then you can actually manually key in the price,
Oh.
You can actually drop down here. It follows the market depth. But you can override, you can delete, and you can key in the price. Let's say 360. Use a keyboard. Yeah. Okay. So you can, can you click sell? The red button. You don't have any valid. Okay. So usually, right, when you click sell or you buy, there's actually a calendar that will pop up. And that's where you set your good till date calendar. 30 days, 20 days, actually.
Oh.
So that means every day the market open, it will re-enter the order for you. 360. Salene wants to sell or buy at 360. Salene wants to buy at 350. So you can set different. You don't need necessarily set one only, You can set many. So I want to buy at 340 this quantity. I want to buy at 330 this quantity. I want to buy. And then you can set like 30 days. That means every day they will key in the order for you. Every time the market opens, reorder. Market order, reorder. For 30 days. Until it hit, then the instruction will stop. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then you want to know, let's say you key in many orders and you want to see what are the orders like, right? Now I want you to go to the top again. You see the thing that says order book, the one that looks like a diary.
Yeah.
You click on that. Click order status. So whatever, now it's empty because you cannot buy or sell. But the moment you start ordering, buying or selling, right? Whatever orders you key in will all be here. How many queue to buy, how many queue to sell, how many good till date, whatever is all going to be here. Okay. And then once they are already bought or sold, you will be able to see in your portfolio. So you can close this. And then you see portfolio, the one in green. Yeah, equities portfolio. Okay. And then you have to, okay. It's actually trying to tell you that you can, even if you make decisions based on what you see in your portfolio, Affin-Hwang or whatever broker is not going to be liable for that. Because sometimes there is inaccuracies in the accounting. So let's just say once you bought and sold, all your equities portfolio will all be here.
Oh. Even after I sold, also will still be here.
No, once you sold, no more. Once you sold, no more. But you can look at order history if you want to see. So every time you buy and sell, they will actually give you what we call a contract note. Usually, it comes in a paper copy, but now it also comes electronically. So in this one, let me see. I'm not so familiar with this. You go to reports.
Reports.
Okay, you click. You try client summary. Okay, now you don't have, but most likely there will be an option for you that all your buy and sells, let's say you sell, right? It will not be in your active portfolio anymore. They will sure give you a contract note. You bought at what price, and then you sold at what price. And it will come a single report for each transaction actually. Because they have to charge you transaction fee, stamp duty, or so. They have to come out with that. Okay. So if you're lost, you forgot what you bought and sold 10 years ago, usually they keep the records for quite some time. But some banks, they say, I only keep for record for 3 years. Then it's your responsibility to download those statements.
Oh.
I normally request paper. So every time I buy and sell or whatever, they give you a consolidated statement at the end of the month. Then you just key it in. And then you have to keep it sometimes because if you trade too often, income tax will come after you because they classify you as a trader. And when you're trading like many frequent transactions, then income tax will say that you're making money off your trades, you have to pay income tax. But usually for investors, you only buy and sell once a month, whatever. There's no tax actually, capital gains tax as well. No capital gains tax, dividend is taxed at company level, so you actually don't get taxed. But if you buy and sell and then you make money off trading, income tax will actually come after you because consider your profession is a trader.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see what else. There's a buy and sell. There's a charts. Okay. Don't spend too much time reading the charts. You can go and poke around and look at it, but yeah, don't spend too much time. Okay. Can you click on exchanges? Let's see what exchanges do they have. Top next to portfolio exchanges. So you see, remember I told you just now that we only have one exchange in Malaysia. So if you if you activate your international broking account, you can log into the same screen, but you can drop down to say you want to trade Hong Kong today, or you want to trade. They will have Hong Kong or US or whatever. Then you can access from this same screen, this trading hall. Okay, and then calculator. If you see calculator, the same. Yeah. So you want to see what is your break-even price, especially you can key in all this. What is the buy price? What is the quantity? What's the brokerage rate? And then order source. You can key in all this, and then they will tell you like if you buy at 3 ringgit 57 cents, how much money, what is the price that you sell that you can break even your trade? Because most of the time we look at the price only, right? But in between, we have to pay for stamp duty, we have to pay for brokerage fee, and you have to pay for transaction costs. Yeah, remember just now earlier you saw the 5 ringgit and all that. 5 ringgit is only the brokerage fee. You have to pay for stamp duty also. 6%. And then certain banks, most of the banks, they also charge you for another transaction cost. So this calculator is to help you to understand all those costs.
Oh.
Am I going too fast? Is it okay for you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, let's close this and go to fundamental. On the top, pink color. Wow, pink color. Okay, click on that. It's my first time looking at Affin-Hwang's interface. I would say I kind of impressed, man. It's quite easy to lay out the layout, and yeah. Obviously, you can't beat the US guys, but
yeah, but it's pretty good for the locals.
Yeah. Okay. It goes to a different that one. Okay.
This the
same. So remember just now I mentioned about collateralize and whatever. You go down there, you scroll down. You see securities, borrowing, lending, income predictor. These are the ones that if you go into borrowing on margins, and then you can actually loan your shares out also, So let's just say you are long-term shareholder of Maybank. You're not going to sell for the next 10 years, right? You can actually loan your shares and get paid. Yes. So there you see, if you lend to other people, you get paid 4%. If you own MSM and you lend to other people, you can actually get 4%. These are shares that is going to be used by the market to short the market. Okay. Don't need to worry about that first. That's a little bit more advanced, but virtually you can actually make money from lending your shares out also. Yeah. Okay. But these are companies I wouldn't really touch. Okay. All right. Let's see. So I've gone through, what's your key takeaway from me showing you the brokerage account so far?
A lot of colors.
Red and green, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Virtually think of that as your gateway. They help you broker your trades. You buy and sell and all this kind of things. Okay. And I think that's about it. Louis, do you have any final thoughts and wrapping it up?
Yeah. So I really wanted to get Salene's point of view, but yeah, you asked the question like, what do you think so far, the colors, but the process, if you were to do it yourself, would you have done it, do you think, Salene, without any guidance like this?
I don't think so.
So would you say it's a very complicated process just to set this up?
Not really.
not
I
really
mean,
complicated.
before this, I feel like it's a very complicated stuff.
Right. Yeah. I think because in between, right, what I find is that you stop like at the CDS, then you stop at the net worth part, right? So
Yeah.
those sections might have been stumbling blocks without some guidance from someone. When I set up my accounts, I just simply whack. But I think you you're someone who is more careful, and maybe because you would think, oh, what is the accurate, this, that, then you want to make sure, then maybe it would stop you here, stop you there. Then now you find that with this guidance, you are able to set it up quite successfully, right?
Yeah.
So does that make you more confident about investing?
Yes, I feel more confident now after I set up my own account.
It's really not as complicated as you imagine, right? Just
Yeah.
after you've gone through everything. What are the key takeaways from this, other than the colors? Let's say we don't talk about the colors. The colors are very. I really don't like the colors personally, because they feel very dot. Those are 80s era
Dot matrix days, the matrix.
Yeah, like that, right? So, what are the three things you would say you learned during today's lesson?
One is how easy for you to set up your own broker account. Then another thing is I assume that you can easily buy and sell, but as just now John explained, that you need to queue, and then you need to set up your price range and everything. A lot of things are like very new to me today.
The technicalities, right?
Yeah.
So this will be, I think, the hard skill that you need, and then I think then after this, John will teach you more of the soft skills on the analysis. Okay, so I'm very glad that Salene, you have taken your first step. Congratulations. We're both very, very happy for you. John is very, very keen to see you make some money from investing, and hopefully you're still young, you're in your mid-20s. If you take this journey until you retire, we hope that you can see your net worth be able to support some kind of retirement goal that you have in the future. Okay, so that wraps things up for today's episode. Okay, so we have taught Salene how to, John has explained what a brokerage account is for, what are the main features, and we've gone through together how to set up a brokerage account with Affin-Hwang's eInvestGo. Of course, this is only one type of brokerage account. There are other kinds. You have to do your own analysis to see what fits you the most. As you can see with this Affin-Hwang one, you only can trade one, which is the domestic market bursa. Okay, if you need more, you might need to explore others. In our next episode, we'll look at the soft skills of market sourcing information, and as well as analysis. So thank you guys for tuning into today's episode. If you want to follow Salene's journey, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you've liked this video, make sure to give it a like to help us with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys for tuning in, and see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.